We are back here on TexAgs Live. We're presented by David Gardner's Jewelers. We're in the Rollo Insurance Studio. Let's go to the Buppy's Catering and Bartending Hotline. I see a man with a confident grin on his face. What's up, Jordan Pugh?
What's going on, man? I'm doing good, man. I'm living good. Good weekend, good start to the week. How you doing?
I'm great. So I see a kind of a confident look in your eyes. And
yeah,
I'm going to tell you a little bit about my experience. And I feel bad about my experience, okay? I feel bad. Our team just went on the road and beat Missouri by 21 points, right?
Yeah.
And a game that really A&M dominated, let's be honest, right? And I unfortunately was nitpicking. And I don't know why. I'm enjoying the journey, right? But I'm gonna find myself
Trauma, man. Trauma.
It is. But they're really good, Jordan.
Yeah. Well, I finally convinced myself. I think that we're the best team in the country. The more and more that the weeks go by, I watch us. We improve every single week. Now, of course, we got things to fix, right? So we'll get into that, of course. And I'm always going to find something with the coach hat on. But when I look at us, man, we can beat you in so many different ways. We can beat you in every facet of the game. We can beat you throwing it. We can beat you running it. We can beat you with defensive play. We can make big time stops in crucial situations. We can beat you on special teams. The more and more that I watch us, the more and more I'm like, man, I think I have to finally just break down and say that I think that we're the best team. Now, we have to finish the task, of course, right? That's where the trauma comes in. That's where that battered Aggie syndrome comes in. But, man, when you look at it for what it is, you're looking at a 9-0 team. You're looking at a team that went on the road for 3 straight weeks, went out and dominated people. You're looking at what we've done as far as how we put together a complete offense, how we balance each other. We're rotating in 92 different running backs. There's no drop off, right? You're looking at what we're doing from an explosive play standpoint. Man, I can't see anything where it doesn't say that we're not the best. And then you look at the resume that we have, the teams that we've beaten. I think that's where we belong. Now, from a standpoint, game-wise, I think that we started slow coming off the bye. A typical thing, right? One of the things that you're concerned about, but how we picked it up, the adjustments that we made once again at halftime, coming out at halftime and just putting our foot on their throat, choking them out. Man, this team is impressive. It's very impressive. I'm very confident in what we can do moving forward, man, finishing the season out, making that playoff push. It's exciting, man. And if you're an Aggie fan, you need to be excited because everything that they're showing you a grit, they're showing you a blue-collar attitude, but you're seeing the word culture that everybody says. You're seeing the culture being put on display each and every week. Man, I'm loving what this team is doing.
So I'm watching this game on Saturday, and I'm like, they're winning, they're in control, yada yada yada, but they're not running the ball that well. And then the fourth quarter happens, and they outrush Missouri, and Ruben's got the 57-yard touchdown, and it's like that's what happens with this team, right? Like I call it a slow drip, but like they're just going to punish you in certain ways. They're going to give you the jab, and then comes that knockout blow. And I feel like the fourth quarter is they own it on multiple levels, but especially when they have to control the line of scrimmage and run the ball.
They break your will. That's the thing that I love the most out of this team is the way that they finish people. That was the biggest thing that we harped on all of last year, right? The ending of last year, we did not finish well. What you're seeing is a team that constantly finishes games. Now, look, let me expand on the point that I made where I think we're the best team. When I watch us, and that has everything to do with, like you said, the fourth quarter, when I watch us play, we're playing against very good football teams. I think the way that we have beaten our opponents, man, has lessened I think in people's eyes, man, the type of talent, the type of teams that we're playing. And then when you watch how we're finishing games, when you watch how we're closing it out, we are leaving no doubt that we are by far the superior opponent. But you're watching us finish games out, and you're watching us do it decisively on the offensive side of the football, how we run it out, especially in 4-minute situations. You're watching us on the defensive side of football continue to create turnovers, get off the field on long down and distances. Man, we just continue to just take hope away from people. And that is the most beautiful thing. And we're clicking at the right time. It seems like each and every week there is something else that we are improving on. And that's what you want to see in a team that's making this run. So, man, like you said, it's like a slow drip. It's like a slow burn, the way that we just drown you. We take you to deep waters and we watch you drown out. That's the most exciting thing with this team.
All right, what is something that maybe concerns you? And I'm going to assume it's the rush defense at times.
Run game and penalties. Run game and penalties. All right. So there was an opportunity in the game. I can't remember what quarter. I want to say it was in the first half. We had a penalty that hurt us. But we've kind of gotten better at that. But when you look at the run defense, and you look at the type of matchups that we're going to be playing in the playoffs, you're going to have to be able to shore that up, right? So when you look at teams that can control the clock, they can be able to utilize that run game to open up the pass, like a team like an Ohio State. You look at kind of what Indiana's doing. One of the teams that I don't want to run into in the playoffs is Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame is clicking. When you look at those type of teams who can manipulate the clock, but they also have the playmakers on the outside, that is going to be something that's going to bite us in the butt if we don't fix that, right? So remember, we talked about this early in the year, man. We have to handle first and second down in order to earn the right to run rush the passer on third down. So we're seeing those little things that are they're coming up, and for those elite teams, they could take advantage of that. But I also watch us counter that. I also watch us go in and make adjustments, and we continue to make those plays. That's why I have the confidence as well. It's not that teams are just bleeding us, dripping us on big runs. We are making adjustments within that, and we're coming back, and man, we're stifling those. So that's the biggest concern that I have right now, right? As far as that run game on defense. Offensively, man, we continue to just we just pile on points because we have playmakers everywhere. But from that defensive standpoint, we get that short up. We're a tough team to beat.
Talking to Jordan Pugh here on TexAgs Live. All right, let's talk about something I really like on this defense, and that's the ability to get after the quarterback, because I just saw a couple plays here, Sanford and Cassius and whatnot. Just what about that?
Sanford, he's making a case for co-MVP. The way he's been playing, it's been phenomenal. I think that he's graded out well. My man Will Lee is coming on. The more and more these past couple of weeks, he's starting to step up. He's starting to play more consistent. That's really good to see. I think Ratcliffe is going unnoticed. I think that the way that he's played, the type of plays that he's made hasn't necessarily been tackles, hands on ball. It's a lot of where his positioning is that's ruining a lot of plays. If you look at the all 22 and you look at where he's at, he is, manipulating a lot of what the offense is doing based off body position. And I think that he's going unnoticed a lot. But of course, we got Cassius Howe. You know what that is, right? What he's doing off the edge. I think that we're playing complementary ball in all three phases and all three levels of the defense. And so from the front line to the linebacker position to the DB position, everybody has elevated their game. And then when you look at what Chappelle is doing in the slot, he's another one that's going unnoticed. Everything is starting to mesh together, right? So remember, I told you, defense is controlled chaos. The one thing that I love the most about what we're doing defensively is the defensive line is creating that chaos up front. You're seeing the complementary ball take place in the second levels with the linebackers and with the DBs, and they're countering off of what our pass rush is doing. So it's allowing Elko to be able to run a lot of exotic fronts, manipulate a lot within the secondary. It's beautiful to watch. But man, when you look at what Sanford's doing, you look at what Cassius Howe's doing, man, those two, they have been phenomenal this year. They have been the workhorses and the stalwarts, man, in this defense. If they continue to do this, man, there's more turnovers. There's more ways that we get the ball back to the offense based off their play, but it allows us to manipulate what we want to do on defense and dictate to the offense what they can and can't do against us.
Talking to Jordan Pugh here on TexAgs Live. Jordan, this is a question about A&M, but really it's about everybody. At this point in the season, 9 games in, you are who you are, right? I think you can improve in areas, but and there's a couple teams that I'm not sure who they are, and I'll be very honest. We can get to talk about them in a minute, but with Texas A&M, I feel like we know who they are. They're usually pretty good at stopping the run, but not always. They will control the line of scrimmage. You're going to get really good quarterback play, if not great, elite from Marcel Reed.
Yep. When you look at us, man, we're an explosive team offensively. We're a team that can hit a home run at any point in time, so that makes us dangerous. Defensively, we're a team that creates chaos, but most importantly causes confusion, which leads to turnovers, which leads to long down and distances. But at the end of the day, we're a 12-round prize fighter. That's what we are. We fight you round 1, round 2, round 3. We continue to throw punches and throw blows until we hit you with the knockout punch. And those are the teams, man, that you hate to face, because those are the teams that can beat you in multiple ways. They can manipulate you in multiple ways, but at the end of the day, they have the grit and they have the fight in order to take you out. That's who we are as a team. We're a physical football team that you could tell that is playing well, that is clicking all cylinders, but you're seeing a cohesive group move together. That is what you want to see in a team, man, that is making a championship run. So when you look at us, man, we're a physical football team, but most importantly, we're an explosive football team. That's a dangerous combination.
All right. I'm only asking because, actually, I'll get to that in a second, because I told you about teams that I don't know about. I'll get to that in a moment. But let's talk about this game in particular, about South Carolina, because I don't feel like we've done enough about that. To me, this is a revenge game if I'm an Aggie. All right? Like, to me, I mean, we all are Aggies. We're watching the show pretty much. It's a revenge game because they ended your season basically last year, right? That was the knockout blow that started the tidal wave, not the slow drip, right?
Yeah.
You've got a quarterback that you could not take down. Everybody else took him down. Even though he had a great year, you could not sack him. And you got a coach, and I like Shane Beamer. A lot of people don't. I like him. But I was made aware that he said that they were the 12th man last year. He goes, the real 12th man, or however he phrased it at the end of that game. I took that as a shot. Obi didn't think it was a shot. He was just propping up his team. But I like to get angry. People know that about me. Little man syndrome, apparently. So I say all that to you. How big is this game?
Oh, it's huge. It's huge. Like, look, we know this about the SEC. Anybody can win on any given Saturday, but South Carolina possesses the talent level in order to give us problems, right? You saw what they did last year. You know what Lenore Sellers at quarterback, you know what he can do. You know what the guys that have mobility can do to us as a defense. Let's go back to the Arkansas game. Remember, we're talking about that, and we're talking about one of the things that concerns us is, one, Petrino's play calling, but two, the mobility of the quarterback. That opens up a lot more offensively. It forces you to be more sound and more disciplined on defense. So now when we look at that from just a defensive standpoint on our end, matching up with them offensively, the discipline factor is going to be huge here. Being able to stay in the rush lanes, understanding how we have to attach on to receivers, because one of the things that hurt us was a lot of the scramble drills last year as well, letting guys run free when we thought Sellers was going to be able to break. So, man, the discipline factor is going to be key. Offensively, they have a defensive line, man, that's talent-wise one of the best in the country, right? So now, how do we stifle them? I think we counteract that because we have a guy in the pocket who can move, who can make plays. We're clicking on all cylinders with threats on the outside. We can go on and on about that. But from a skill set and talent standpoint, they match up well. But I just think right now what we're doing as a team, as a unit, the way that we're clicking and running, and they're coming into our plays too as well, I don't think that is going to bode well for South Carolina. I just think that everything that we're doing right now is hitting on all cylinders, and I just think we keep that train rolling moving forward.
All right, so teams that I'm not sure I know. Texas, a team that's on A&M's schedule, okay?
Yep.
There's moments I'm like, man, maybe they figure things out, right? Like what they did against Vandy. That was an impressive 3 quarters of football. The fourth quarter, not so much. The comeback against Mississippi State, I don't think they should have been in that position, but they get credit for that comeback. But it's still like, offensively, I think A&M is superior to Mississippi State. The Kentucky game goes into overtime against a team that at that point couldn't move the ball at all. And, you know, they came away with a win. Got to give them props. They beat up Oklahoma. So that's something that, like, okay, well, Oklahoma still got a chance to make it to the playoffs. But I don't know. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if I know who they are. Do you know who they are?
Texas is a talented team that lacks an identity. I think when they play Georgia this week, I think Georgia's going to bludgeon them. That's what I think, because the one thing that you know about Georgia is that they have talent, but they're a physical football team. They're a blue-collar football team. They're a team kind of like us this year. I think we mirror each other where they're going to fight you in a phone booth, and this is what we do. Stop it. I just think that Texas, their talent allows them to stay in games, but I don't think this year in particular, their culture and their identity will allow them to sustain. I don't see a tough football team. I don't see a mentally tough football team. I just see a very talented football team. That's what I think the difference is. When you look at, Texas and you compare that against us, both super talented, both have playmakers, but I think you see a mentally tough football team that is focused on one goal, one prize. I think that's the difference. I think Georgia will expose that this weekend. I love the way that Georgia is playing. I love the resilience. I love what they did against Mississippi State. I don't know how Texas matches up. I think they mentally break Texas as the game goes on.
Talking to Jordan Pugh here on TexAgs Live. Georgia is another team that I don't really think I know. I know Kirby Smart. I know the level of team they always bring. I know what they did this past weekend against Mississippi State. I'm like, all right, they figured it out again. They're back, right? But I've also seen a lot of these tight games that I'm wondering, and comeback games. So do you feel like you know them now?
Yeah, Georgia's the team that's built on culture. It's built on what Kirby has built over all these years. That's why they're always in every game. That's why they're never out of it. Look, you already know from a talent standpoint where they're going to be. That's just what it is. They have dudes everywhere. But what you're seeing right now in the Georgia team is you're seeing a cohesive unit that understands their identity, but understands the wants and needs of the coach. Kirby has built that over time. And what you're seeing is culture win right now this year for Georgia over everything. I think talent is evened out. It has been dispersed through the SEC throughout the country, but the culture, understanding the why, the want to, but most importantly, the championship mentality that Georgia has, that's what's winning them games. And I think that's what you're seeing, man, in these tight, close matchups like they've had week in and week out. But I think you saw it kind of go over the top and really shine last week against Mississippi State. You saw the Georgia really elevate themselves, right? Because now it's championship time. Now it's that November time. Guys are making the run. And this is when you see those type of teams stand out. And that's what you're seeing Georgia do. So I think I know who they are, man. They're built off the toughness, the grit, but they have a championship DNA in them that makes them tough to beat.
What about Bama? A team that has won some really good games. They had the Florida State loss early. I think they've evolved from then. I hold it against them in a tiebreaker, but I don't hold it against the kind of quality of team I think they are. But I do think some of these games have been closer than I would expect, including the LSU game.
So I'm watching the game this past weekend. I called my dad, and I told him, I said, man, I think we get on an even field with them. We go to Atlanta. We beat Alabama, and I think we beat them soundly. I think Alabama is very talented. I think Alabama is very good. There's something, and I'm kind of with you on this, they're lacking something. I can't put my finger on it. I don't know what it is. I don't know if maybe it's just the Nick Saban effect. I don't know what it is. But when I watch them, they give me two things. I know that they're dangerous. I know that they can beat us. But then at the same time, I'm very confident that we can beat you by 2 scores. It's kind of one of those type of teams. But they're the type of team, if you let them hang around, you give them any type of life, they take full advantage of it. I think Florida State was the best thing that happened to them because that woke them up. But also at the same time, when I'm looking at them, I'm looking at the state of the SEC. I'm looking at where we are. I don't know how well they match up with us. I just think, man, the way that we're playing, the way that we're a cohesive unit, I don't see a team in the country that's better than us right now. I just don't. I can't put my finger on it. Maybe Ohio State, maybe, but I have yet to see Ohio State challenge. What do they look like when they're punched in the face? I just think with our resume, everything that we've done, our identity allows us to be that top team.
All right, Jordan, last thing for you. Okay, you think A&M is the best team in the country, and you always tell me the truth. When we suck, you tell me, so you always keep it real.
Yep.
Who in the SEC, though, do you think is not a great matchup for A&M? Let's say in the SEC championship game. Is it Georgia because they kind of mirror what A&M's all about? Is it Ole Miss that Lane Kiffin's got, a way of spreading you out, running the ball down your throat as well? Like, he's just a master offensively. Is it Texas? Is it who is that team that you think isn't a good matchup for A&M?
Ole Miss. I think Ole Miss is the one. When you look at Georgia, I think Georgia is a very good football team, but they're a one-dimensional football team. But that one dimension that they have, they're very good at it, right? Ole Miss can beat you like us. They can beat you multiple ways. And I think that Lane has found his guy at quarterback. They found their identity and their core of who they want to be offensively, and they got that thing rolling. I just think that offensively for Ole Miss, they possess a lot of the weapons that can beat us. They can run the football, but they have a quarterback who is just like Marcel Reed, and that's the X factor, right? So when you look at that matchup, I think, man, we're mirror images of each other. I think defensively they're playing well. They're making plays from that standpoint, but receiver for receiver, quarterback for quarterback, when you look at the offensive scheme that they have, that is the one matchup that would scare me. And I think that's the one coordinator who could go against Elko and they can go blow for blow when it comes to the game planning, the scheme, and the play calling. So that's the one that would intrigue me and keep me up at night.
Jordan, I appreciate it, man. We'll talk to you soon.